This is SILL Talks episode 4. On this episode, we're going to do dissecting and delving into lead generation for architects. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of SILL Talks. SILL Talks is the podcast dedicated to helping architects develop strategies and finding new ways to help grow their business. On SILL Talks, we teach the principles, ideologies, and steps to help architects develop that side of architecture that is rarely talked about or rarely discussed, but is very vital to our business growth. So you can say that SILL Talks is that sweet spot between architecture and business that helps the architect do and focus what he loves the most, which is creating while keeping his light on in the office by building a sustainable and profitable business. I am your host, Egbenyon Leonard, and welcome to SILL Talks. This episode is sponsored by Render Like a Pro. Render Like a Pro is a 3D visualization learning platform where students can learn to hone their artistic skills and be taught by one of the best group of visualizers in Africa. Render Like a Pro has both the monthly and the yearly subscription that is easy on your pocket as you learn. You can visit www.renderlikeapro.com to check out the services, review, and see how Render Like a Pro can help you. The website is www.renderlikeapro.com. Welcome back, guys. So let's do justice to this topic: lead generation for architects. I'm sure you are wondering, what is a lead? That's the first question that comes to mind when this topic is to be discussed. When you say a lead is an opening or an option for someone to indicate interest in working with you or utilizing your services in this case. So, lead generation strategy is a process of attracting and converting strangers and prospects into paying clients. So, the goal for this particular episode is to discuss the ways an architect can develop unique strategies to attract people to his services, letting prospects understand and see the value the architect's service will contribute to their project and overall benefit them. So that is the focus of this particular episode. So before you can say you are delivering value to people and you want to go ahead to look for, a pool of people to tell about your services or to get to know what you do, it is first important to understand the nature of this pool of people, where they are, how they behave, the psychology behind the pool of, clients out there. In order to do that first, we will look at, the client demand pyramid. Then after that, we'll take a look at how to get these people to come to our table and request for our services. Then we would also focus on the process of generating these leads. That is the stages of how these clients behave from when we meet them to what they become to us eventually. Then we look at the benefits that this whole process gives to us. So we'll delve in. Client demand pyramid is the first thing we're looking at. There's a principle in economics that says that at any given time, at any given market, if you go on social media and you see architectural firms posting their work, or you see a blog by an architect, they are simply saying something and these are all marketing tools, these are all advertising tools to get people to know about a particular firm. So imagine a pyramid that has 3 stratas, have A, B, and C. Now we'll take it from the top. Strata A contains, a few people at the top of the pyramid, and these people are, say, 3% of the total market. So the 3% are ready to hire. And then we look at strata B, which is about 6% of our total market. These are set of persons who yes, they have a project, but they are not sure on how to go about it. you can say that they are aware of their project, but they need specific advice. And then it goes down to the last one, which is strata C, where we have majority of the people consisting of the 91% of majority who are even not aware that they want to start a project or how to go about it. We'll discuss the basic characteristics of each of these strata and how to harness the potential each strata gives us. Now, let's start from the top. Strata A, where we have 3%. The upside of this group of persons, if you are looking at targeting them for your business, is one, the clients are ready to hire. These are the group of people where you say, hey, I'm selling water. They're already thirsty. So there's the likelihood to say, yes, let me have some. That is an analogy that I think will best qualify it. They are already thirsty and they can hire on the spot because they already know what it is they want. Then they are aware of what they need. So tailoring your service to suit theirs, it's easier because they already know. These are the kind of people that will come up with a brief and say, architect, this is what I need you to do for me. So the amount of work you are putting into this is almost minimal because they have done most of the work. They are ready to hire. Now, the downside to this set of persons is that they only form about 3% of the major market you are chasing. Now, don't forget, it's good to have people who are, ready for action, ready to go with you on the spot. But probability of this group of persons, of you getting this group of persons becomes low because one, they are small. Two, the competition is enormous, and because all other firms, big or small, are all up against these same 3%, then of course it means you now have to invest more in your branding, your packaging. You need to invest in your brand perception, and you are constantly developing new ways to attract this 3%. So it's a lot of competition. It's a lot of work in itself because these 3% are few. Now, to the next one, which is strata B, where we have the 6% of, the mass of people we are looking at. The upside to this percentage of people is that they are at information gathering stage. Information gathering in the sense that they kind of have a project, but they are not sure how they want to go about it. Or let's say they have a renovation project. They have a space. They know that they don't like this space as it is and they want something better, but they don't know how to go about it. So you can say that this group of persons, they are aware of their situation and they need specific advice. But here also, you can say that they are problem aware, and at the same time, the competition is not as crazy as the first percentage of customers or potential clients. But the downside here is that they are only about 6% as well. When you look at it, 6% is not so much when you have so many competitions doing the same thing. So you have to now start fine-tuning ways to make your service or your niche different from what Mr. B is offering. Then you need to put in more work than the first stage because these people have specific needs. So they have specific needs. So you need to, fine-tune your services to meet what their needs are. Now, that brings us to the next stage. The next stage is strata C, where you have the majority of people. The majority of people who need your services, but they do not know they need it. So that's the first downside of it. They are unaware that they need your service. They don't know they need a project. They don't know they are about to start a project. They do not know they need an architect at all in the first place. And the upside is this. They are the majority of your potential customers, which falls at 91%. And the majority of this 90% are open to educational processes. It means that they are teachable. If you start with them, if you start to teach them or make them see the reason why they need a project, or maybe you are teaching about how to do a certain project, depending on the channel you are going with, you find out that this person start to reach out to you to say, oh, okay, I have a space. You see that they start opening up in their head that they can do something with what they have. So you can say that in this particular case, your competition is low. Now, it's low because of the uncertainties involved. There are a lot of people who are targeting the first or say the second strata, but the third strata they are practically ignored, meaning that you have a lot of unaware people, you have a lot of plain sheets, a lot of people who are undecided, meaning that if you are able to educate them and you teach them well, they will get to the point where they become your customers, and that is where we want them to be. So the point of deciding to go into a project for the majority of people, they are the set of people, if you have pulled them through at the end of the day, they are the ones who will remember your name. Now, the real money is, I'll tell you the honest truth, the real money is in the second and the third strata, which is C and B, and they form about 97% of the target market. That is the 6% of the market that says, I really don't know what I want, with the space that I have, but I need a specific advice. And the 91% that don't even know or haven't even found the need to embark on that project, and they are being ignored. So when you eventually turn these people into clients, they are the ones that remain loyal and are your praise singers. They form your referral base. So the goal is to move this 97% of potential customers up the pyramid faster, because believe it or not, even disinterested prospects, that people who are not interested, can turn into lucrative customers on the go. The problem is that most people treat every lead as the top 3%. That is one of the major problems we have. They feel that every client is ready to buy now. So they have no system in place to capture this 97% of ignored people. So to reach this 97% who are not ready to buy now, but will be ready soon, if you educate them. That's the major thing. You need to educate them. Now, when a prospect is not knowledgeable about a subject, it's something you need to know. When a prospect is not knowledgeable, they don't have any idea about a subject, they are in a state of uncertainty, and people don't buy when they are in this state. It is a fact. When they are not sure of something, you can be sure that they will not make purchase in that state. But the more they know, the more they are likely, to hire you. Now, the bonus in this particular one is, if you are the one educating them and you are also making sure that they, move up that pyramid, move up the strata, that's moving from C to B, from B then to A. If you are the one doing this, you can be sure that when they hit that level of I am ready to hire, they will likely hire you. Yes, some of this percentage might find better options because they now know what they want and will go, but the majority will stick to you. Now, to do this, your message must be powerful, insightful, and educational based, and not to simply just put peace about this is what I do, hire me. No, you need to educate them from scratch. You need to tell them about, say a typical example is, you need to explain how a project that you have done benefited your last client. You need to explain the processes, how their businesses has gone further. Now, the particular goal here is you realize that there's so much people competing for your same clients that the normal marketing of just getting people's names and gender doesn't really work. You need to go deeper. The aim here is to basically attract them, educate them, you nurture them before they even turn into your client. So there's a lot of work involved in that. So let's look at channels you use in attracting this set of people. So basically, we have the speaking. The speaking has to do with you putting yourself out there to tell them about what you do. I have a principle. If I'm meeting somebody for the first time, in the first 5 minutes of our conversation, the person already knows I'm an architect. It is one of the very core principles that I base. It's more like a marketing idea, because if I'm meeting people, if you are the kind of person, the kind of architect that goes out often, you need to harness that skill of letting people know this is what I do, this is what we are good at, before you even go ahead to talk of other things. And I really don't care what field the person is coming from. Now, if you volunteer, for example, in a church or in a mosque, whatever your gatherings are, and you tell them maybe there's a committee coming up and you volunteer. If it has to do with projects, even if it's not project, you can always use an example from the project you just completed, how it was resolved. Analogies, tell them story. Make sure you speak about what you do every single chance you get. Then, of course, when you are referred to clients and that's another channel to get this group of persons that group of prospects in as leads and also as clients. Then the next one is network marketing. When you go for general networking, there's a basic when people have a problem with, of course, saying networking doesn't work. I'll tell you the reason why. As for for architects, the reason why the networking strategies we have been using does not work, and it is perfectly fine to try and fail. So I'll tell you my experience. Back in the days, I used to go for this monthly hangout by CFA. Fred Amata, he works for Channel. He's an IT person. He works for Channels TV, and every month he will gather a group of IT enthusiasts, in quote, a group of IT enthusiasts, and gather them in a place in Ikeja. Every month he will invite someone new in the tech space, in the IT space. That person will come and talk about how they have done their business successfully. So I attended a couple of these sessions, and one thing that I discovered was there were lawyers there. Of all the sessions that I attended, I was the only architect there. And at the end of the day, I met people who were industry leaders in their own field. And we became pals. At the end of the day, I got projects from them, for civil designs, and we are still on talking terms today. These are people who refer you, because in that space, at those times that I went for those meetings, I was practically the only one who did what we did. Unlike the regular networking you go for, you go for a gathering where all architects are gathering. Of course, we are all looking for job. Even the big guys are looking for job. So you probably find out that if those are the kind of networking you do, it is going to be hard, because we are all chasing that same 3% or that same one person in the space who probably might have a job, rather than going to a place that is not indigenous to your profession. In a gathering where there are minimal architects there, that is the kind of networking you should be doing that will help you generate leads and get more clients. Then the other channel where you can get, leads in is inbound marketing. And inbound marketing can be through your blog posts, through your emails, through your newsletters, of explaining how the challenges of a recently completed project, how you overcame them, how the clients remark, testimonials. You can also do this through phone calls, through face-to-face meetings, through your website landing pages, and all of that. So all these forms channels to which you can get leads and generate prospects. So the next phase, we'll be looking at the lead generation process. And this process has to do with how you get, this 97% people on board. The first stage, they become, of course, they are all strangers to you. Basically, you have strangers who, through one of the channels I discussed earlier, you have been able to, get them to become leads, and they become visitors. Visitors in the sense that they are checking out, okay, what can you offer me? So you first have strangers, then they become visitors, and these visitors inquire about your services, and they later turn into leads as you discuss ways you can help benefit their project, which, if they have, educating them. From leads, when they have agreed, then they become clients. And at this point, your whole work, of course, will pay off. And then you try to deliver value. And at the end of that transaction, because of the journey you have both been through, there have been so many contacts. There's a saying that you need at least 3 to 4 contacts with a prospect to become clients. Meaning that the first stage you meet might not be the day they will give you a check. The second day you meet is not the day they will give you a check. So most times it falls between the 4th and the 5th meeting. That is when, of course, they would have developed that confidence enough in what you have been able to impact in them to tell you, okay, let's do this project together. And when you have delivered value and you have successfully completed that project, this set of people become your referral base, and then they become your promoters by singing your praises everywhere they go. So you notice that there are different stages. You take a stranger, it becomes a visitor. From visitor, it becomes a lead. From a lead which you have generated, they become paying clients, and from being paying clients, they become, your referrals, your referral channel. So with that, let's look at what would a very good strategy of lead generation strategy do for your business. Let's think about it. With all this process of educating people and getting them to know about what I do, how will it help my service? So, which of course benefits to your own business. So the first thing is, when you have a very good lead generation strategy as an architect, the awareness you create about what you do increases tremendously. That is the first thing. And with you talking more, with you engaging more with people, with you educating more with people, your name, your brand name becomes top in their head when they think of anything architecture or anything design, even when it's not related to design. The fact that it has to do with creativity, you'll be the first to pop in their head. So your awareness about what you do increases tremendously. Then, of course, when you keep educating them, when you keep talking to them, they begin to see you as an expert. It is the first thing, They see you as an expert because you've been able to dish out constant contents that are valuable to them. So they'll see you as an expert, and then you have constant access to clients. It is very key. When people begin to see you as experts, and then your awareness level of how people talk about your brand, your business increases. Of course, you keep getting access to people, targeting and gaining access to people on the top of the pyramid, because you are now generating them and pushing them up the pyramid by your own strategy. Then when this happens, you have increased patronage. More and more clients will walk in to look for you. Your phone will ring more, and when your phone buzzes more with leads that is being generated by all of these strategies, you have tendency to get more clients, which in time will lead to, an increase in your revenue, because you are having more work to do, and you can now charge higher fees if you can, because you now have more clients to choose from, and this gives you the competitive edge that we have always talked about. So this competitive edge makes you like a master in this field. Against all odds, whether recession or not, you will always have people coming in to inquire about your business. And because your lead strategy, generation strategy is top notch, you will constantly get people paying for your service. And this will ultimately give you financial freedom, which of course is the purpose. We are all in business to make some good money and live the life of our dreams. So basically, this is all we dream about. Whether you are a big time architect or you are just starting, or even as a freelancer, these strategies, if practiced effectively, will actually help you to worry less about the kind of when is my next project coming in and all of that, because you always have something in the works, something in the pipeline cooking every single time. So with these guys, we've come to the end of this episode. Wow, time flew by. It's amazing when you're having fun and you just keep, don't mind me, I can talk for Africa. It's my job, so I try as much as possible to keep up with the times. But one thing that I know for sure is all of this going out, this networking, this writing, this teaching, it has actually helped me as an architect become better at what I do, because when I talk to people, I'm able to understand, how can I serve them? How can I help them? How can I help their spaces? And when you go into that meeting to discuss about this space, it's not all about you. It's about how your services, the skills that you have, how they are able to help the prospective client. And when they already see that there's something that always happens, if the client sees that you are or maybe a prospect sees that you're on the same wavelength with them, like this guy gets me, that is when they are willing to sign a check for you. So the aim is about their business. The aim is about how your services can benefit their project. The aim is about how you can help them become better or even make their businesses more productive. So when you do that constantly, that is when you win constantly. So it's a wrap from us here. So as I sign out, I'll simply say thank you for sticking with me to the end. My name is Architect Egbayon Leonard, and I say we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of SILL Talks. Bye guys.